You're sitting in your room, maybe scrolling through your phone, feeling a little empty. Suddenly, you think about a breakup you went through, or maybe breakup a friend went through. Have you ever wondered what happens to the person who did the breaking up? Like, when does it actually hit them? Do they even feel anything at all? Or do they just move on, carefree, like nothing ever happened? I'll tell you something surprising. Breaking up with someone isn't as easy as it seems. Even for the one doing the dumping. At first, sure, they might look like they're fine. They're smiling, posting happy selfies, hanging out with friends. It can make you think they're totally over it. But here's the twist. Breakups hit everyone. It just takes time for it to sink in for the dumper. Picture this. The dumper makes the decision to end things. They've thought about it for weeks or months, telling themselves it's for the best. But guess what? That doesn't mean they're heartless or immune to pain. Sometimes, the realization of what they've lost doesn't hit them right away. It sneaks up on them later like a slow-moving wave that crashes over them when they least expect it. So, let's dive deep into this. Let's talk about when the breakup hits the dumper, how it feels for them, and why it sometimes takes so long. And trust me, it's not as simple as it seems. I promise, by the end of this, you'll understand things in a way you probably never thought about before. 1. Why dumpers seem fine at first. Let's start with why the dumper looks like they're doing just fine right after the breakup. The truth is, they've usually been thinking about breaking up for a while. It's not something people decide on a whim, especially in serious relationships. While they were still with their partner, they might have felt trapped, confused, or unhappy. They probably convinced themselves over and over that ending things was the only way forward. When the breakup happens, it feels like a release. It's almost like taking off a heavy backpack after carrying it for miles. That's why dumpers often seem relieved right after. It's not because they don't care, but because they've been mentally preparing for this moment for a long time. But here's the catch. This relief doesn't last forever. 2. The delayed reaction. Dumpers often have a delayed reaction to the breakup. At first, they're busy distracting themselves. They might go out more, meet new people, or dive into hobbies they didn't have time for before. It's their way of avoiding the emotional weight of the situation. But distractions can only keep you busy for so long. Eventually, the reality starts to sink in. Maybe it's when they see their ex happy without them, or when a certain song plays on the radio. Sometimes it happens when they try to date someone new and realize it doesn't feel the same. This is when the breakup finally hits the dumper, and let me tell you, it can hit hard. 3. Why the dumper feels it later. You might wonder, why does it take so long for dumpers to feel the impact? Well, think about it like this. When you're the one ending the relationship, you're focused on getting through the immediate aftermath. You're trying to convince yourself you made the right choice, even if part of you doubts it. But as time goes on, their mind gets quieter. Those distractions they used to avoid their feelings stop working as well. That's when regret or loneliness can creep in. They might start thinking about the good times they had with their ex, the inside jokes, the shared dreams, the moments that made their relationship special. And then, they feel the loss. 4. Regret and what-if thoughts. Dumpers often go through a phase of what-if thoughts. They start questioning their decision. What if they gave up too soon? What if their ex was the best person for them, and they didn't realize it? What if they're the reason things didn't work out? This regret can be heavy. It's like carrying a bag of rocks everywhere you go. The dumper might replay memories over and over, wishing they could change things. But by this point, their ex might have moved on, making it even harder for them to deal with. 5. Loneliness and self-reflection. Here's another thing people don't always realize. The dumper often feels lonely too. Sure, they might have been the one to leave, but that doesn't mean they stop missing the connection they had. They might miss the little things, like the way their ex laughed or the way they always knew how to cheer them up. This loneliness pushes the dumper to do some serious self-reflection. They might think about their own flaws, the mistakes they made, and the things they wish they had done differently. It's not an easy process, but it's a necessary one for them to grow. 6. When the dumper reaches out. Sometimes, the dumper might even reach out to their ex during this phase. It could be a text, a call, or even a chance meeting. They might say they miss them or try to rekindle the relationship. But by this point, it's not always possible to go back. The ex might have moved on, or the damage might have been too great. Still, this shows that the breakup did hit the dumper. Eventually, it just took longer for them to feel it. 7. Moving forward. For the dumper, moving forward after a breakup isn't as simple as it seems. They have to deal with their own emotions, learn from their mistakes, and figure out what they want for the future. It's a journey, just like it is for the person who was dumped. So, if you've ever felt like the dumper got off easy, remember this: they feel the breakup too. It just takes time for it to catch up with them. And when it does, it can be just as painful as it was for the person they left behind. There you have it. Breaking up is never simple, no matter which side you're on. And if you've ever been on the receiving end of a breakup, just know this: the dumper isn't immune to heartache. It might not hit them right away, but eventually, they feel it too.